Up tonight, a very different result in the second trial for two men accused of plotting to kidnap the governor. Both Adam Fox and Barry Croft found guilty on all charges this afternoon.
A jury convicted Fox of kidnapping, conspiracy, and conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction. Croft was found guilty of those same charges and an additional charge of possession of an unregistered destructive device.
These convictions come 4 months after a jury deadlocked. This time around, the federal government was able to make their case to a new set of jurors.
We have team coverage tonight. Megan Bunchman with reaction from the defense team. But we begin with Joe LaFurgey, who asked prosecutors about their strategy this time around. Joe?
Brian, Sue, when the prosecution says this verdict should send a message to those with anti-government views who use violence to promote those views. But when it comes to questioning the government on their tactics in investigating this case, we got no comment.
The verdict confirms that this plot was very serious, very dangerous, posed a threat not only to the governor personally and her family, but also to innocent bystanders and to basic social order.
It took jurors about 8 hours over 2 days to reach their decision. Throughout the trial, prosecutors portrayed Adam Fox and Barry Croft as radicalized anti-government plotters who wanted to set off a civil war and a second American Revolution.
The defendants in this case believed that their anti-government views justified violence. Today's verdict is a clear example that they were wrong in that assessment.
It took 37 hours over 1 week, the last time the case was tried, for the jury to find co-defendants Brandon Caserta and Daniel Harris not guilty for their alleged roles in the case and tell the judge they could not reach a decision on Fox and Croft.
What made the difference this time? No questions, thanks.
The target of the plot, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, issuing a statement after the verdicts, which reads in part, "Today's verdicts prove that violence and threats have no place in our politics, and those who seek to divide us will be held accountable. They will not succeed." But the defense put the FBI on trial. Fox and Croft's attorney presented an entrapment defense, portraying their clients as pot-smoking big talkers who had no intentions of pulling off the kidnapping. After today's verdicts, the FBI was asked if the case may result in a review of the agency's policies and practices. The answer, no comment. Why don't you guys want to answer these questions? Now, both men face up to life in prison when they are sentenced. Live in Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Now let's send things over to Megan Bunchman, who continues our team coverage tonight.
She is live with reaction from the defense attorneys. Megan?
Brian and Sue, obviously the defense is not happy with today's outcome from the trial that took just jury members just less than 8 hours to find guilty on all charges. Now, both lawyers who represent Barry Croft Jr. and Adam Fox argue and maintain that their clients were simply big talkers and that it was actually an FBI informant that moved the plot along. The lawyers also alluded to an issue with one specific member of the jury.
Barry Croft Jr. and Adam Fox remained stoic Tuesday morning as they learned of their guilty verdicts.
My client is disappointed in the verdict. It's been a good fight. We've made it twice in a row. We were hoping for a different outcome today.
Fox's attorney, Chris Gibbons, said their fight isn't over.
The federal courts do provide for appellate relief, but generally that's something that happens after a judgment has been entered, and that won't happen until after a sentencing. Those should be scheduled.
Gibbons and Joshua Blanchard, who represents Croft, both alluded to an issue with a specific juror. They said that they will pursue other avenues as they continue to defend their clients.
I believe that justice should happen in public.
Blanchard is most likely referring to a now sealed court filing that the Detroit News first reported. The outlet said that the document alluded to one juror who had hoped to be selected to sit on the case. The juror allegedly said that they had already decided the case's outcome and intended to persuade others towards that verdict. While a clerk was ordered to investigate the claims, a gag order was issued in the meantime to prevent either side from addressing these allegations publicly. The defense maintains that Fox and Croft are simply big talkers, and it was the heavy hand of the FBI that moved the so-called talk into action.
I think that the record speaks for itself. I'm sorry that things happened with the jury that didn't allow them to conclude the way we wanted them to, but we will move forward.
Again, you hear that the defense is planning to appeal today's outcome. There were a total of 18 people selected, including 6 alternatives to sit on this jury. I'm Megan Munchman, live in Grand Rapids. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
All right. Busy day down at that federal courthouse in Grand Rapids. Megan, thank you for that. Charges in the Whitmer kidnapping plot first announced in October of 2020. The state charged 7 people, while the feds charged 6 suspects.
Here's how that panned out. 2 of them, Caleb Franks and Ty Garbin, pleaded guilty before the trials. Brandon Caserta and Daniel Harris were both acquitted in the first trial. And then Fox and Croft were both found guilty in the retrial.
We have our full coverage, including what happened each day in the courtroom and reaction to the verdict at woodtv.com.